Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of And Now You Know with Betty and Julz. I'm Betty.
And I'm Julz.
And we are so excited because we have a brand new recording studio. And so we took a couple weeks off while we had our transition, but we also wanted to catch up because we haven't talked in a little bit. So what have you been doing?
Gosh, I was trying to remember what I've been doing, but Jay and I are, Jay got his captain's license a few months ago, and we are looking at some party barges, and we are going to start an excursions business on the lake that sits right behind our house.
Yeah.
So we're really excited about
Cool.
that.
Yeah. That's going to be really awesome. So if you're ever in town, you'll have to come over and let us know if you're visiting so that you guys can party with them.
Captain Jay and your hospitality director, Julz.
Yeah. And it's going to be really fun. So,
The only thing I miss about our set is seeing the picture that we had that my mom gave me. We tried it here, and for some reason, it just didn't work.
It didn't work.
And what's really cool about this picture is that a few years ago, Betty and I have been wanting to do this podcast for a long time. And we got this painting for the background originally.
Yes, this was the original backdrop.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, but we should probably have a bloopers.
Yeah.
And put those episodes up because they are bad.
We're not going to put them up.
I don't know what was wrong.
We're not going to put them up. This was a few years ago, and this is when we were still a little unsure of how we were going to do it, what we were going to... I mean, we knew what we wanted to talk about and what we wanted to share. We did know that.
Yeah.
But it was so unnatural.
It was so choppy.
It was so stiff, and we just didn't. Yeah, it just did not go well. So we probably recorded, I don't know, 3 or 4 episodes, and we still have them.
We sounded like robots.
It was not good.
It was bad, and we even had this table.
We did. We bought this table, and we bought that. So we had space for recording.
Same face.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what happened. It just didn't. It just didn't ever like. It didn't feel right. The timing didn't feel right.
Yeah. So what have you been doing?
Well, so I just got back. I went with my sister to California, and we went to a Tony Robbins conference called Unleash the Power.
You should have seen her. She was dancing.
It was so awesome. So if you have never been to a Tony Robbins conference, it was so amazing. And by the way, my sister and I are official fire walkers.
Oh, I saw that.
Yes.
That's cool.
We literally walked on fire.
Did it hurt?
It's okay. So there's a whole process that you go through to put yourself in peak state so that you don't feel it. However,
is it literally hot
yes,
coals?
because it burned my toe.
Oh.
So I know.
Did you get a sore?
I got a little blister on my toe. So I know for my sister did not get not one. She didn't feel any heat
Why
at all.
do you think you did?
I don't know, but I know for a fact that it was hot.
Yeah. Did it feel hot when you were walking on them? I've always been so
aside
curious.
from the one toe that got a little sizzly. Like I felt it. That
toe was not in the right frame of mind.
Exactly. It was that toe was not, it wasn't focused. But anyway, I think in my own mind, I think I was psyching myself out because I was thinking, is this really hot?
Yeah.
Or is it just for show?
Yeah.
So I think I needed to prove to myself that it really was hot.
And it really was.
which is why it was hot. It was
interesting.
Really hot. Yeah. But anyway, aside from that, it was
always
really cool.
I wondered if that was real or I'm about to sneeze.
Yeah. Go over there. Bless you, Julz.
I always do 2. I wish I could do one more because they say if you sneeze 3 times in a row, you get to make a wish. And it comes true. And I never do 3. But.
Well, look at the light, maybe. No?
No.
They say if you look at the light, that helps you get it out.
Sun helps. Anyway.
So anyway, so if you've never been to one, highly recommend. It was so awesome. So aside from that, here we are, and we're really excited to be in our new place.
We
painted, so we have some pictures and video of us making a mess in this place. So we'll post those on social media. But look at how it's really cool.
It is.
I'm really happy. And actually, our colors today are really great.
They are.
Yeah.
Look.
Her eyes pop with this kind of greenish, bluish back here. And I can't believe we did not plan this.
No, we didn't.
We didn't plan it, but I think it's the right colors for this.
This is a new top, so I have to wear my new top.
Well, actually, this one, it's not new, but I've never worn it before.
I like it. It's really cute.
Yeah, it's been hanging in my closet for like a year.
Yeah.
So,
you have to wear it because it's not going to cool down here ever, I don't think. So just wear it.
Yeah.
It's really cute.
So here's our cute little outfit. Yeah, and that's very pretty too.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so today, the topic for today, and we are bringing this up because Julz and I, you know how we constantly have these conversations, and I have been seeing over and over, and Julz sees posts and I see posts of constantly talking about people saying if he wanted to, he would. So that is the title of today's episode. If he wanted to, he would. And everything has to do with, of course, if you're dating and if you're married, you know, guys will do, sometimes they're not doing exactly the things that you know, whatever your list is, whatever your criteria is, if they're not doing those things, this is one of those opportunities to have a conversation, because it's never about capability.
No.
It's not like, you know, is he able to call me back? Is he able to
Text me.
to text me? Is he able to, you know, make a date?
Is he able to be aware?
Is he exactly? So it's never those things.
No.
It's never those things. So this will give you an opportunity
It's
to
really just about if he wants to.
if he wants to.
Yeah.
So Julz is going to read. There's a couple things that we saw that really caught our attention. So she's going to share that.
Yeah, it was a social media post. Who was the gal? Do you remember?
I do not remember her name, but actually this has been posted, not the exact same words, but
Okay.
the concept has been
Okay.
posted by several.
And we
some are
just
dating
pulled-
coaches, some are just, you know,
Yeah.
influencers.
And there were a lot, and we just pulled like our top 8, the ones
Yeah.
that we really kind of resonated with us.
Yep.
I'm going to read one, and then you should read one.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah. So the first one is, a man doesn't have to give me flowers, but he can if he wants to, and I choose the man who wants to.
A man does not have to care about my comfort, but he can if he wants to, and I will choose the one who wants to.
A man does not have to introduce me to his friends, but he can if he wants to, and I choose the one who wants to.
A man doesn't have to pay for dinner, but he can if he wants to, and I will choose the one who wants to.
A man doesn't have to prioritize me in his life, but he can if he wants to, and I choose the one who wants to.
A man doesn't have to give me compliments, but he can if he wants to, and I will choose the one who wants to.
A man doesn't have to choose me every day, but he can if he wants to, and I choose the one who wants to.
A man doesn't have to remember what's important to me, but he can if he wants to, and I will choose the one who wants to. These are really good.
They're so good, and they're so accurate, and it's so interesting because I was just talking to one of my dear friends, one of my quarters yesterday, and she's looking for love, sorta. I mean, she's not out there, and I'm like, they're not going to come knock on your door. You can't be a secret looking for love in all the wrong places person, you know? It's kind of like being a real estate agent. You can't be a secret agent.
You can't be a
You've gotta
secret
let
agent.
people
Nobody, you know, people don't know about you. How are they going to work with you?
But with Jay, I had dated so many men who didn't do those things, and I allowed that to happen, that by the time Jay came along, I kept waiting for years for the shoe to drop, because I hadn't met a man who wanted to make me a priority and who kept commitments and did the things that he said he was going to do. And it is quite remarkable when you find one that is like that. I remember getting sick the first time I had bronchitis or something, and he took the time to bring me a little sack that had crackers and chicken noodle soup, and I liked the cherry ice, or what's that? Gatorade. It's the white one.
Yeah.
Cherry. It's so good. I love it. I could drink some right now.
Yeah.
And then a little bouquet of flowers. And he
Aw.
set it on the porch. And then he called me and he said, I'm in the car. I just dropped off a little care package on your porch.
See?
Yeah.
See, something. Okay, now look. Chicken noodle soup, Gatorade, flowers,
Crackers.
and crackers.
Love.
That's that did not break the bank.
No.
That took him maybe 2 minutes to pick up, and then of course it took him, you know, a little bit of driving time to get there, set it down. But that right there is such an amazing, like, what that does for your heart and soul, to know that somebody was so thoughtful and so considerate. I mean, that just gets you so many points.
Oh my God.
So many points.
I just want to kiss him all over his whole face all the time. And I mean, even now he travels and I'll go in at night to get the coffee ready and I'll lift the lid up and there's a note that says, enjoy your coffee in the morning. Have sweet dreams. I love you.
Aww.
I mean, he's so much better than me.
You know what? He does cute things like that all the time because she'll find a little note.
He sticks notes in my pillows.
Yes, and she'll always talk about that, and that is so sweet and so thoughtful. And he didn't just do it just to get her.
Oh no,
it wasn't
He's still doing it.
Yes, and this is now 13 years later, and he's still doing it. Okay, so see, there's the difference right there. So a couple of these things that we just read are things that you should notice early on. So like somebody returning a phone call, somebody doing what they said they were going to do, somebody paying for dinner, first, second, third, fourth date, whatever it is. I actually, for me personally, my own personal thing, people can date however they want to, but for me personally, if a man expects me to split the bill early on, there will not be a second date. If he literally expects me to like, okay, well, you go ahead and pay for 50% of that.
And it's so crazy when she tells me some of these stories.
Oh, yeah.
That they do actually happen.
Yeah, they do happen.
One guy got himself a drink and didn't get Bette a drink.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it happens. It happens, and it's
like,
so...
hello?
It's so crazy. It's funny because there was somebody that posted, same thing, that posted about it and talking about, you know who it was? God, what was his name? Okay, now I can't remember his name. He has a YouTube channel and he has a finance channel.
Okay.
He has a finance channel. Oh God, what was his name? Anyway, he was talking about, because he's so financially conscious, he thinks that it's better for everybody to go 50-50. And he had a guest on his show that said, you literally, like, the honor that, you're trying to save a buck, and the honor that you like lose and sacrifice in that woman's eyes is absolutely not worth it.
He's serious.
Yeah. I couldn't believe how, yes, I understand financial discipline, and yes, I understand that people are trying to like build something for their future, that is something to be admired. Like, I actually do appreciate a guy who has their shit together when it comes to their finances. That's a good thing. However, you are trying to court a woman. You are trying to...
That's also preparing for your future.
That's also preparing for your future. And Steve Harvey has said, and you have heard him say this, if a man can't buy you a plate of food on a date, how do you expect him to take care of a family?
Yeah.
How do you expect him to take care of you and build a life together if he literally is showing you on date number 1 that he's unwilling to provide?
I was just talking to one of my boys, my youngest, the other day, and I was telling him, I wasn't telling him, we were having a green tea and a piece of coffee cake that I wasn't supposed to be eating, but you could taste the butter and the sugar. It was so good. I need to go get a piece and bring it to you.
Yeah.
But
I love coffee cake.
We were just talking about marriage because he's in this age where some of his friends are starting to get married, and I'm hoping that he gets married, but maybe for like 7 years. I believe that a man's got a very small window in his life where he doesn't have to take care of anything except himself.
Yep, that's their 20s. That's what I think.
And Jay has told this to all 3 of our boys, and it's such a precious time for them to enjoy that freedom, because I believe that when a man commits, that he needs to be able to provide for his wife and his kids. And if she doesn't want to go to work and she wants to stay at home with the kids, first of all, he needs to understand the value in that. Mm-hmm. Staying at home with the kids is a luxury, but it's also the hardest job that you will ever do, because where you used to have beautiful clothes on and lipstick and your hair was done, now you've got spit up in your hair, and it's a rarity if you have a shower by the time dinner's done with the little ones.
That's a real thing. I remember those days.
It's a real thing. And so, call me old-fashioned, but my boys, I want them to understand the value of her taking care of those kids instead of putting them in daycare.
Yep. Yep. And I agree. I agree personally. I did the same thing. Now, instead of, I wasn't able to stay home full time, but I started a business that I could do around my own schedule so that I wouldn't have to put the kids in daycare, because I absolutely, I value that time. I think it's really important. Now, to each their own. There are some women that don't want to stay at home,
Right.
and that's okay. You don't have to do that. The point here is, if you want to,
and that's
do
why,
you have a man that is capable and willing to provide you that lifestyle?
Right.
And if you don't, these are conversations that you should be having super early on.
Yep.
Because if he doesn't want to, I wouldn't marry him.
No,
and
not
I
if
wouldn't
it's important to
procreate with
you.
him.
Yeah, because I did want to be a stay-at-home mom, and I did have to put my kids in daycare here and there, but majority of the time I was at home.
Yeah.
Now I worked. I had a jewelry business. It was a direct sales, and I did fantastic at it and had a blast. But I always needed that. Not that raising my children wasn't a big enough purpose, but I needed something that was all mine.
Yeah, and that's okay.
Yeah, and
that's
I needed
okay.
the conversation with adults, other adults, versus a 1-year-old.
Yeah.
I mean, they're cute.
They're cute and all, and it's true. It is. They are cute, but I do agree with you. You have to have a really good, strong community around you when you're raising babies. You can't just be 24/7 stuck at home with babies.
It'll make you
It'll do
lose
something
your
to you.
mind.
You definitely need some outside,
Stimulant
conversations.
Yeah.
But to be honest, this whole topic, it makes me think so much about foresight.
Yeah.
It also makes me think of the list, because if you know very clearly the things that you want in a man and in a relationship, especially if you're in your 20s and you think that you might want to be a stay-at-home mom, you better marry the right guy.
Yeah.
You have to marry the guy, because this is a really sad story when you marry the wrong guy, have a couple kids, you end up having to go to work because he can't provide for the family, because either he's not capable or he's unwilling, and now you have a life of misery and struggle.
Yeah.
These are, again, uncomfortable conversations that you have to have really early on. But for me, you've heard me say this before, I would rather be single forever. I would rather be single forever than to be in a relationship with a man who doesn't want to.
Right.
Because there are too many things that I feel like women end up sacrificing.
Well, I've been in both kinds of relationships. I've been in one where one of them made a great roommate, and he wouldn't mow the yard. He liked to sit on the couch and watch TV. And I was working. I was doing so many different things, and it's exhausting. It's exhausting when you have an anchor wrapped around your ankle that's pulling you underwater, and you're holding these kids up, and then you've got this weight pulling you down, and you're just doing everything you can to keep your face above so you can breathe.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it goes back to so many. We just posted an episode not long ago on having uncomfortable conversations, and most of these situations that I found myself in were because I didn't have uncomfortable conversations. I did not have my map to love. I didn't have it all mapped out. I didn't have that list. I was so codependent and so lonely that just that warm body was acceptable. But then you get into it and it's not.
Well, then that life
You're
is
kind of-
way more uncomfortable.
Well, you're really in denial
Yeah.
about what your own issues are, and you're just trying to wrap yourself up in that blanket of denial, but it doesn't work after. I mean, it always surfaces. And so it goes back to, you can start looking in the mirror early on, or you can go ahead and hit rock bottom. But eventually you're going to have to look in the mirror at yourself and be accountable. And it's much easier if you'll just do it. And love does not have to be hard. I can tell you with every ounce of sincerity and truth in my being that being with Jay Carradine is not hard.
Yeah.
Ever. Now, there are some things he does that annoy me, and I tell him all the time, I bet there's absolutely nothing that I do that annoys you. And he just smiles, and I know there's a lot of things.
Yeah.
Actually, he told me the other day, I use these little white toothpicks because I've got a gap where I store a snack in my teeth back here. Anyway, it hurts. And I don't know where, but he says he finds these toothpicks all over the place. I don't just throw them in the floor.
Yeah, no, I definitely
No. He's like, he went and washed my car the other day, and I asked him, I said, was it filthy? And he said, no, and those little white toothpicks weren't all over the place. I don't throw those in my car, Jay.
Yeah.
Because I know you're going to be watching this.
Well,
I need to back up.
As Julz was telling that story, another story popped into my mind. And if you all shout out to John Deloney, you know John Deloney.
Yes.
He has a podcast. He's one of Dave Ramsey's, I guess, spinoffs, right? He used to be an advisor for him, and then he now has his own show. I was on a walk the other day, and I was listening to his episode, and he was just talking to a girl who is in her, I want to say she's in her late 20s, maybe early 30s, has been married for 3 years, no kids.
She okay?
She's not okay. She's not okay. This is the first time that I ever heard him advise somebody that they might need to make a very hard choice in their marriage. I have never heard either Dave Ramsey.
What's this guy doing?
Well, so this is what he's doing. So he constantly is talking to his wife about her duties, what she needs to be doing. And not only is she the maid in the house, she also has a full-time job because he refuses to pay for everything. So he won't pay for everything, so she has to have a full-time job, right? He doesn't want to help with any of the housework because he feels like that's her job. She's also to be at his beck and call, if you know what I mean.
Yes, I do.
At all times.
No, and
whenever he wants.
And he's doing nothing outside of that bedroom to make her want.
Exactly. But let me tell you what he is doing. Hours upon hours upon hours of video gaming.
No. What is wrong with this generation?
Put the games up. And here's the thing. Because she is a Christian woman and is very, very serious about her faith, he constantly throws the Bible at her about submitting to your husband. This is where John Deloney almost jumped out of his skin. I couldn't believe. But this is what we're talking about.
Yeah.
And so they don't have kids. They've been married a couple years.
She should not have children.
She should get out. She should get out.
Yeah, and I'm not an advocate for divorce.
Neither am I.
But
neither am I.
She did not map her way to marriage and love. We wanted to talk about small and big commitments.
Yeah.
Because when you're dating, if you notice that he isn't able to keep his word on some of the smaller things, like texting you back in a timely fashion. How long does it take to text back and say, hey, I'm busy. I saw your text. I'll get back with you in a minute. A little bit.
Yep.
It may be 5 o'clock when I get off work. I'm really slammed today.
Yeah, but something.
But acknowledgement.
Anybody that can go, I have said this before. I have said this before on dating interviews. I have said this before to guys that I'm seeing.
Yeah.
I have said, if you are okay going 8 hours without, and it's not even about like, I'm not needy, so I don't need the continuous text. I don't need that.
You can't be insecure and clingy.
Yeah, you can't do that. But I also do want a level of consistency and communication from my person where I know that they're having, if they're having a busy day, they're having a busy day. Well, I'll talk to you later, whatever.
Yeah.
But if you're not communicating at all and I'm texting you and you're not responding at all and 8 or 10 hours goes by, or 24.
Yeah.
Like, there are people that don't text. I had a friend who was dating a guy. He wouldn't respond to her for like 48 hours, 72 hours. And I'm thinking, if you are okay going that long, I want nothing to do with you.
No, and if you are, and he is,
that would never work for me.
If y'all both are great, I go dark real fast.
Yeah.
And even with Betty or my kids, if I text Betty and she doesn't text me back within a certain amount of
reasonable
time, I'm going to call 911
Yeah.
and tell them to come do a welfare check on her
Yeah.
or something. Because
Yes, that's true.
it's rude. And
Yeah.
so if that's how they're starting out the communication with you, then you better be okay with it if you move forward, because that's what you're going to
That's what you're going to get. So going back to the John Deloney story and that poor girl, I don't even know what her name is, but that poor girl, we are not advocates of divorce, but clearly the interview process and the mapping process did not happen the way that it should have. And so I think that this is one of those cases where she can take a look at the situation, realize that she made a mistake.
Yeah, and own up to it.
And own up to it, look at herself in the mirror, and I think she can course correct. And I'm sorry for anybody that believes that she should just stay in it forever and ever. She's super young and hasn't had any kids yet. If they had kids, maybe I'd be thinking, do whatever you can to work it out. Because I also, wouldn't want a broken home for the kids.
My advice would be, first of all, and she may have already done this, but go talk to him about it. If he does absolutely nothing about it, then take him if she's a Christian and he is, take it in front of somebody at church and get their input, or even a Christian counselor or a therapist, whatever. And then if there is still nothing going on, I'm not sure that he's really committed to her.
I'm not sure either.
I think he's
a child.
He wants we've talked about this before. He wants to use her body. He wants to use her resources. He wants to use her gifts as a woman, and I'm not just talking about sexual. I'm talking about women take houses and turn them into homes. She probably cooks. I mean, there's probably a lot of gifts as a woman that she offers
that he's benefiting from.
And all he's doing is going to work and playing video games. No.
Yeah.
I
hope to God they don't have any children.
No.
I absolutely put that in your prayer book.
Yeah. And
that poor girl, we need to pray for her.
If he's wanting her in the bedroom, he needs to learn the true foreplay. And that's called chore play. Get your butt in there and do the dishes. And vacuum and dust.
Listen,
that is a turn on.
If a man, what is a turn on is when a man wants to take care of you and goes out of his way to be thoughtful and considerate. If this guy was doing those things, he wouldn't have to demand it.
No.
He would be getting, he would have his hands full with her throwing herself at him, and he would get whatever he wanted from that woman if he was doing his job.
Oh, yeah.
Because I am telling you.
She would make him look so good.
Yes, that's what I don't think, for some of these guys, and, the sad part is that it seems like there are more and more of those type of guys that are like man children that want to be, they want the princess treatment.
They want mommy.
Yeah, well, those kind of guys, that is so unattractive. I mean, who wants that?
No, thank you.
There is nothing.
Well, I mean, here's what.
There is nothing hot about that.
I don't know if guys are listening to this or not, but women, you can tell your guy this if you want to. He's going to end up being on your to-do list. And
frog.
Eat that frog first, baby. I'd do it on Sunday night and get that thing over with for the,
She's not kidding either.
I'm not kidding. I don't do it now. But back a long time ago.
Yeah.
There were
who wants that?
No,
nobody wants that.
It's no way to live your life.
Yep.
And this is until you die. You're going to do that until you're dead?
Yeah. No thanks. No. Mm-mm.
Give me a reason.
This is why we have these kind of conversations. And I know we do talk about dating a lot. We talk about mapping your way to love. We talk about dating. We talk about your experiences, in marriage. We talk about my divorce. We talk about next chapter. We talk about all these things because we are so hoping that this information reaches the ears of people that can still save themselves.
Right.
Like,
don't marry him.
Yes, don't marry him.
And
if you're already married to him, I am going to defer to the John Deloney, his advice that he just gave. I mean, divorce should never be I just felt like it, so let's just get rid of him.
If it doesn't work out, I can always just get a divorce.
I really do not think that it should be used for that. However, this guy has proven to be a man-child over and over and over and over again. And the other issue, because you just said go to a Christian counselor or go to your pastor or whatever, here's the problem, because the church that I grew up in, let me tell you,
I've had my share of those.
Yeah.
I know where you're going with it.
The church that I grew up in, they were notorious for telling women to zip it and to just suck it up and live with it.
I did that.
That's not okay either.
But if you're...
Who's your mentor? Who are you listening to?
But also, if you're in a place of having to go to therapy, chances are, and I think majority of the time, it's not the marriage that's the problem. Why was she attracted to him?
Right.
To begin with, I'm certain that he played video games.
I am sure. Absolutely.
Probably was not overly attentive, but it is pretty important. This is my opinion. I think that you need to date someone for 2 years minimum, because that euphoric, that can't think straight, it's just, you can't, it's in Bambi, they call it Twitter-pated. And
I've never heard that.
You're just like, I want to marry him right now. Go watch Bambi. It's in there. It's Twitter-pated. It's springtime. Love is in the air. It's really cute. But after about 2 years, the shoe is going to drop, if there is a shoe to be dropped. Now, that shoe might drop, and you might ignore it. But if you walk down the aisle and then 3 years later you're crying, if you go to the right therapist, number one, they're going to say, did you see this before you got married? And you're going to have to be honest. The problem with therapy is most people aren't honest. Mm-hmm. But most of the time, you don't even need to be talking about the marriage. You need to be talking about your root and what is making you attracted to someone who is just not that into you.
Right.
Why is that acceptable?
Yeah, he's completely, he's not only, he's unavailable on so many levels.
No.
He's financially unavailable. He's
physically
unavailable. He's emotionally unavailable. Maturity-wise.
And apparently he's spiritually unavailable because he's using that as a weapon.
Yep. Yeah. I think that for this poor girl, like you always talk about, therapy is not about talking about the marriage. Therapy is really about talking about yourself. And
we can see what's going wrong in
we
the
can
marriage,
see what's going
clearly.
wrong. But here's the not funny, but the funny part is that ironic part is that this girl, she clearly, there are things about her, what would make her believe that she deserves any kind of treatment like this and that she should tolerate this. So she absolutely has some work that she needs to do. Whatever this guy is doing is really not her problem. Mm-hmm. There's no changing him.
Her problem is that she chose him.
Yes, that's what her problem is. So this is, for me personally, this is not a fixable marriage counseling. No. Let's go, whatever. Take care of this over time. I don't think that's what it is. This is his real, true character. This is who he is. And now the journey is for her to figure out why she decided to choose somebody like this and to heal herself.
And is she going to live with it? She needs to bring some other people in that are more mature and have more experience in it that can talk to him and let him understand what's about to go down if he doesn't grow up.
Yeah, and at this point, the conversation is, I need to change him. The conversation is, can I live with this?
It is, and
the answer for me is no.
No, and I typically don't believe that people can change.
Right, they can't.
But actually they can, and it kind of goes back to this list. I choose the one who will.
They can't if you want them to.
No.
They can change if they
want to. I've seen it happen. I've changed.
But you wanted you to change.
But I wanted to change. I wanted a different outcome. In my life, whether it was me being alone or alone with someone. I was not going to be alone with someone, and I didn't want to be alone. And so I changed so I could be attractive to a man, a real man, who would make me a priority, who would outlove me, who would bring me flowers, who would bring me coffee, who would start my bath in the mornings, it's not about Jay doing for me. It's that he wants to do, and I love to do for him too. So I tell you guys, it's worth the work and effort
Yeah.
that you need to put into yourself and just to open your eyes. And it is so much better. And when you get the clarity, like I get to watch Bette on her journey to finding love, and it's so awesome to see the power that she has. She's empowered by it because, man, she'll cut him off in a heartbeat.
I will.
And I'm like, wow, you're not even going to like talk. No, I'm not talking to him about it.
No, because
there's no reason.
There's no
She's
reason
right.
because we had another episode that is come as you are, and our job is to you either accept them or you don't as they are.
Yep.
And so when I see something that I know is not going to work for me, I'm already done.
Yeah.
I'm already done because I'm not going to try to explain it to them. Now there is a difference. I do believe in communication and I do believe in clarity. So if I am talking to someone and maybe they didn't intentionally or maliciously, they didn't do something to offend me or to whatever, we can have a conversation and I'm just going to say, I'm not trying to change you, but this offended me, or
this doesn't work.
This
for me.
doesn't work
this
for me.
This isn't on my list, and it's a big one,
right? And so if I'm having that kind of conversation, or if I'm saying, "Hey, I continuously feel like I'm chasing,"
yeah,
and you're not responding, that doesn't work for me.
I don't
and
chase.
it's okay if this is how you choose to do relationships.
Yeah.
That's totally fine. I'm just not your girl.
No,
Like
exactly.
I have said
Yeah.
that so many times.
What's the text?
Yeah,
Thank you for your time.
Thank you for your time.
I appreciate who you are.
I am not feeling the chemistry,
I'm not.
but I wish you well on your journey.
I do. And I'm going to keep looking for what I'm looking for. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Okay, that text message is gold. I've used it so many times.
I have to say that I scripted that myself. I'm so hot.
It is. It's really hot in here. Okay, we're gonna get a fan
Yeah,
for
our
our
hair
next
may be
episode.
blowing.
Yeah, exactly. We're gonna. So in our new space, we have a really big window, which is awesome for
Yep.
lighting.
We don't even have to have a ring now.
We don't have a ring light. But at the same time, it's a little hot in here because it's like, the sun is like right in our face. So I think we're gonna.
So I
think we're
just
gonna-
kind of want to recap
final
this a
thoughts,
little
final
bit.
thoughts.
So moral of the story is if he can't do the small things, don't expect or think he's going to do the big things.
Yep.
We were talking just last week about the importance of having a man who takes care of you when you just have a little cold. If he totally ignores that, if you have something serious happen down the road, you better be prepared to deal with that on your own.
Absolutely not.
No.
No.
So he needs to work on the small things in order for you to believe he's going to be able to handle the big things, and pay close attention to those things that he can do that make you feel important, loved, picked. And if he chooses to do those, I highly recommend you choose him.
Mm-hmm.
If he does not do those things, I highly recommend that you send the breakup text.
Yep. I totally
Or
agree.
based on whatever. You don't have to, the breakup text is awesome, especially on those after the interview date.
Yes, I agree. And my final thoughts, it's very, very simply, it's the title of this episode is If He Wanted to, He Would. And I say that so that it is a constant reminder. Once you have decided what's on your list, once you have decided that you're looking for somebody that does X, Y, and Z, and if you feel like you continuously have to beg and are getting crumbs and are not getting responses and are going 24 hours, 8, 12, 18, 24, 72 hours, and you're not hearing anything, if he wanted to, he would. And I will give another shout out to Taylor Love. I've mentioned him before. Yeah. He constantly says behavior is a language, and that goes hand in hand with if he wanted to, he would. He is showing you that you're not a priority in his life. He is showing you that your comfort, that your needs are not important. That's literally what we just read. If they are not, it's okay. But I want to choose the guy.
Yeah. Actions speak louder than words.
I'm going to choose the guy that prioritizes me, that cares about my comfort, that remembers what's important to me, that wants to acknowledge me, take care of me, be active in my life, reach out to me before I have to go begging for him to respond to me, any of that stuff.
Yeah.
if he wanted to, he would.
Yeah, because that's the way it's going to be. Your whole entire life.
Yep. Yep.
And it's
Don't do it.
long,
Don't do it.
What's that song? I'm praying for the end of time.
I don't know that song.
Oh my God. It's by Meatloaf. It's hilarious. It's probably, you don't even know who Meatloaf is.
Of course I know who Meatloaf is.
Okay. It's a wrap.
Yeah, that's a wrap. Well, anyway, so comment
Meatloaf,
section
by the
below. If you have any questions, feedback, topic ideas, anything that you want to share. And, I am interested in hearing from, we would talk about this, feedback of people that are either currently in this situation. If you want to have a conversation that's just with us, you can send us an email. And that is just us. We just respond to that. And that's hello@bettyandjulz.com, BETTE.
JULZ.
We are excited to be in our new space, and we are also excited to continue to share these episodes with you, and we are excited that you are continuing to watch. So thank you.
Yeah, and I want to go back to Betty saying we'll visit with you one-on-one, email. We're not doctors.
We're not doctors. We're not.
This is just girl talk. Girls talking based on experience,
Right.
and it's. I've talked to women. They've helped me a lot, and now I want to help women a lot.
Yeah, and really that's what it is. We've had a lot of experience navigating through things on our own journey, and there are a lot of people that have reached out to me, and same with you, to just ask for, how did you do this?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on this? And getting an outside perspective, it's so hard to see it when you're in the middle of it.
Oh, it
and when
is.
if you can have an outside perspective, somebody come in that you trust, that has had some experiences in the past that are relatable. There's some wisdom, like we talk about the jar of wisdom, that can be shared or poured onto your head. So that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
So,
and if you've got friends out there that have met a guy that you're dating and they're telling you no, you need to break up with him, because they are not looking through the rose-colored glasses like you are. And just trust. We call it the board of directors. And you got to, man, I wish I'd done that repeatedly. Because I didn't.
Yep.
So anyway, all right. There's our little dose of wisdom for the day.
Dose of wisdom for the day. So thank you all for joining us, and we will catch you on the next one. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.